over time. So the control will show the process mean center line and the fluctuation of variance, the variance of the data. Upper and lower limits are there to indicate statistical control, wherein the variation of the thing that you're measuring is to be expected. So looking at points outside of that limit would indicate, hey, I'd like to focus my attention on that atypical data piece. Regression analysis, looking at the mathematical equations to show the potential to get a relationship between the data or the variables. One of the common measures here is to construct a regression line that would assist in the potential to discuss or forecast future elements like patient demand and things along those lines. So here's some examples of that out of the actual way that they were discussing the way to utilize this regression analysis. But again, forming a line through the collection of the data points and then the upper and lower control pieces so you can see where the limits would lie and then where variation outside of those upper and lower limits would cause additional rational resources to study. Knowledge of strategic planning principles. So planning is defined as the anticipating the future, assessing present conditions, making decisions based upon organizational direction, programs, and resource deployment. Planning is known as strategic management because one must be integrated with other management functions like organization, directing, controlling, staffing, and decision making. So utilizing all those elements together to come up with a method of operation. 5 tasks of strategic management include forming a strategic vision of what the company's future business makeup will be based upon, again, guidance of where that organization is particularly heading, in line with vision and strategic practices. Setting objectives to convert managerial statements like the strategic vision or mission into specific performance targets. You're taking this qualitative information, you're making it quantitative. You're actually getting some objectivity to it. Crafting a strategy to achieve the desired outcomes. Objectives are the ends, and the strategies are the means to achieving them. Implementing and executing the chosen strategy efficiently and effectively. Again, how do you know you're executing it if you're not able to manage it and quantify the management of it and what is going on? Evaluating the performance, again, quantifying it. Initiating corrective adjustments in the vision, long-term direction, objectives, strategy, implementation of in light of actual experience, changing conditions, market, etc., new ideas, and new opportunities. Strategy making is fundamentally a market-driven and consumer-driven entrepreneurial activity. Venture capital spirit, business creativity, an eye for spotting emerging marketing opportunities, keen observation of consumer needs, and an appetite for risk-taking are inherent in the task of crafting company strategies. And this is directly out of the material. Proficient strategy making is a product of much organizational learning. Strategic management is a process, not an event. Strategy making is a job for line managers, not for staff of planners. The doers should be the ones that are making the strategy. Strategic planning process. So these are the 4 steps: assessment, planning, implementation, and evaluation and continuous improvement. Assessment. Review or establishment of vision, mission, values, and guiding principles. External assessment of market, competition, demographics, environmental conditions, and technology, as well as determination of customer or stakeholder needs and expectations. Internal assessments of strengths and weaknesses of the organization, including its financial status. Planning. Development of the plan based upon the assessment. The plan would include the goals, specific objectives, metrics utilized to assess the success in reaching the proposed goals and objectives, and delineation of the resources necessary to accomplish the goals and said objectives. Enhancement of the plan using the principle of a catch-all whereby drafts of the plan are reviewed by major departments and services, basically trying to get some buy-in there. Implementation. Leaders establish the organizational culture, communication, reward system, support structures, and policies to ensure that the plan is effectively implemented. Departments develop their own plans based upon the organization's strategic plan, and cross-functional teams are established, if necessary, to plan and implement major systems change across the organization. Individuals are held accountable to the implementation of the plan. Evaluation and continuous improvement. Again, the metrics of results and the measurement of them against the plan, the goal, and the objectives. Evaluation or analysis of the results. Change modification of the plan on the analysis of said results. Knowledge of basic business contracts, legal and financial implications. So these are very basic information. I think that most of us know what this stuff is. A contract is an agreement between two or more parties that identifies rights and obligations. Again, a very basic definition. A breach of contract is when one party does not perform certain requirements of the contract, usually resulting in a remedy or monetary damages for said party. Breaches can be avoided through careful drafting of the contract and negotiation of the contract provisions. 4 elements to a valid contract. An agreement is reached after an offer is accepted. There is consideration or something of value in the agreement. The agreement is reached by parties who have the legal capacity to contract, and the contract's objective or purpose is lawful. Knowledge of marketing principles and tools, market analysis, research, sales, and advertisement. So again, this is just a basic definition according to the AMA, American Marketing Association. Marketing is a process executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual and organizational objectives. Scope of marketing is in reference to the 4 Ps that they allude to in the text: product, place, price, and promotion. Marketing begins, again, looking at specific consumer groups, which they classify as market segmentation, and determining the specific needs, expectations, and potential buying behavior. Segmentation analysis is done through analysis of the social demographic variables such as age, gender, ethnicity, or geographic location, and then you would hone more specific things to those areas. Marketing of service lines, etc. A situation assessment is often made through a SWOT. Most of us know what this is. Looking at our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The SWOT analysis, which I have a little character there on the bottom of the screen. The SWOT analysis looks at strengths and weaknesses of the organization and the opportunities and threats in the current and future environments. Other common studies to look at marketing and I guess achieve some type of metric in reference to your marketing effort or marketing share, brand loyalty, and brand recognition. Portfolio analysis evaluates different service lines with regard to their profitability, consistency with organizational goals, and competitive position in the market, and may lead to modification of product strategy. So this stuff is happening all the time. It's a continuous process. All of these studies produce greater understanding of the competitive position of the organization and what changes need to be made in promotion or advertisement. The need for effective marketing is highly imperative in a highly competitive environment such as healthcare. Effective marketing targets specific market needs and wants and can be analytical and have a strategic function and tactical as well. Marketing is critical to the ongoing survival and competitive advantage of any healthcare organization. Current problems with healthcare marketing include naive practices, emphasis on promotion only, needs to become more comprehensive, poor marketing strategy and practice, low appreciation of analytical or strategic bases. One of the other pieces here is the tactile piece. Healthcare is one of those services that it doesn't appeal to everyone right away. Like you're marketing a shoe or like a food or something along those lines. They're immediately tangible, and healthcare is one of those items that is a little bit more difficult to classify like that. Increased healthcare consumerism impacts healthcare organizations such as the following: employers, buyers, healthcare quality reports, consumer dissatisfaction and measurement, differentiation, brand loyalty, pricing, and sales to physicians, employers, and others. Forms of advertisement and promotion. Mass advertising. There's a segmented or targeted promotion based upon further analytical study of the market. Database marketing and website development. The following strategies help target marketing efforts and build consumer loyalty. Focus on wellness, quality of life, cultivating relationships with consumers, engaging them, wellness program development, marketing your physicians, medical school, many medical schools, publications. A lot of facilities are now doing the wellness brochures, like magazines and things like that. It's another methodology to utilize. A one-to-one approach can be an internet marketing strategy, and also you make marketing an ongoing and perpetual effort. The different types of marketing strategies, there's a push or a pull strategy. The push is actually getting the marketing approach with the objectives is to utilize, increase utilization of sales by providing incentives, encouragement to intermediaries in the marketing process, pharmaceutical reps who call on the physicians. The pull strategy is the actual objective is to increase the utilization of sales from personnel by getting them to pull in data, information, achieves by increasing focusing on the end of the consumer. The consumer is wanting this. They're looking to acquire this. The best example of this is the pharmaceutical industry's commercials on TV. Many times the consumer is going to see this commercial and say, you know what, that pill, I want it, and they'll go into the doctor and ask for it that way. So it's a pull strategy. Knowledge of techniques for business plan development and implementation. The purpose of a business plan is to provide, again, a written document that conveys an organization's or projects prospects for growth potential and growth potential. Business plans are vital communication tools and planning tools that are focused on a particular product or initiative. The business plans are prepared in order to attract support. They build support both internal and external to the organization. A business plan process enables a standardized market and data-driven comparisons of existing and proposed programs. The 4 steps of the business planning process include the assessment of the current situation and deciding what you want to accomplish by drafting your objectives, ensuring that all have input into the process, make it a little more valid, and discuss whether your business planning process is meeting the objectives. Actual business planning documents should include a thorough description of the product situation, target market, and objectives. Plan must have specific steps to accomplish the project or program, along with the timetable for implementation of said plan. All costs and financial impacts should be detailed within the plan, and the business plan should also include a evaluation component, again, looking at the metrics of the plan to see how the outcome of the project will be measured. Principles of public and community relations. The community's perception can be a major factor in the survival of a healthcare organization, especially as industry becomes increasingly competitive. The loss of support from the community will ultimately mean fewer patients, fewer volunteers, and less donor support. It's imperative that you recognize every individual in the organization has some responsibility for image and integrate maintaining a positive image into organizational strategy. Employee morale is correlated to public image. Strategies that they discuss to enhance public image, there's 6 listed here. Focus on personal interaction, improving the day-to-day interactions between patients and caregivers, enhancing the employee morale, paying attention to job satisfaction, and issues so that employees have positive attitude toward their jobs, and that in turn is conveyed to the patient. Connection with the community, conducting health education programs at community sites, having a dedicated hotline where patients can express concerns, and holding public forums where community members can interact with organizational leaders. Partnering with other organizations. Again, this is an effort to build the image of your organization. You partner with an organization that you together can have a more positive image. Your image potentially could be enhanced by the association with the organization. Working with the media, sending out regular news releases, newsletters, having members of the media sit on advisory panels, etc. Providing culturally sensitive care, meaning knowing and clearly understanding the demographics and the culture of the different communities that you serve. Ensuring a culturally diverse staff and providing an interpreter service and translated materials, reaching out to the community and providing cultural sensitivity training. Community planning includes developing baseline health information on community health status, reporting back to the community. In managed care organizations, there should be some responsibility to for some level of community education. Health organizations should also look toward ideals beyond organizational goals in the community's planning efforts, in their community planning efforts. Reputation and public relations that can be enhanced by providing culturally sensitive care. There is a need to know and clearly understand the demographics of the culture in the different communities that are being served, and also a need to ensure a culturally diverse staff. Again, providing the potential for interpretive services and translated materials in the native language. Knowledge of functions, operational policies and procedures. Policies and procedures provide ongoing guidance for members of the organization. Policies are intended to help organizations reach their objectives, and they must be consistent with the support of the organization's mission, goals, and objectives. Policies are classified into 2 types, general or operational. And general policies apply to the entire organization, whereas operational policies pertain to a specific unit, department, or service. Procedures are used to define specific actions for the organizational members, and they usually appear as a sequence or step of steps to complete a specific task. 6 characteristics of good policies are illustrated here. These characteristics include are as follows. They are consistent with larger organizational objectives. Their impact is well thought out before they are formalized. They are flexible, so they can be applied in typical as well as unique circumstances. They are ethical and legal and reflect the values of the organization. they must be clear and understood, and they must be consistent with each other. And those are my references there to the talk here that we had. Again, like I said, this was not a very long topic to discuss. It's kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of things that we've already covered as we've gone through this review. You know, when I was going through the literature here, many of these things, you know, we know this stuff. We've been in these types of roles. We're utilizing these types of tools and these abilities every day. As far as the questions, I've got 8 questions, and they're as follows. So if there are any questions about the presentation, I can answer those. We can go right into the questions and kind of do those like we have in the past. Hey, silence. So I take it that there are no questions. So we can go ahead and start with the questions here. And you know, I guess I'll just throw it out there for question number 1. Does anyone want to take that?
I'll take it, Alan. A well-developed marketing plan will include all of the following except staffing considerations. Again, going back to the question, they're looking for the exception. A developed marketing plan, staffing considerations. I'm going to hold on that one. B, competitive analysis. I think that absolutely is part of it, so I don't think that's it. Quality of care considerations. I'm not quite sure about that one. Put that one off to the side. D, pricing considerations. I do believe that is part of it, so I'm down between A and B. I think if they're talking about staffing considerations of the marketing department, then I think that does have to be included. So I'm more willing to put that in it. Quality of care is a marketing. You can market it, but it's not doesn't have to be the well-developed marketing plan. So I'm going to say C, quality of care considerations.
And you are absolutely correct. It is C. The review of this, again, like you just verbalized, it's something you can put into this, but it's not something that is as imperative as the other elements, especially when you're developing a line. Question number 2. Anybody want to take it?
I can do it.
Okay.
Or Barbara, if you want to do it.
No, go ahead, Mia. You were first.
No big deal. I like strategic planning, so I think I can guess okay on this one.
Hey.
Successful approaches to strategic planning include a well-written mission statement, long-range plan, and fiscal plan, plus the history and discussion surrounding them. Now, looking at the question, successful approaches to strategic planning, I mean, this looks like a very comprehensive response. The other ones look a little less meaty, so I'm going to already guess that it's probably A, but I'll look at the other ones. B is avoidance of high-risk decisions. It says successful approaches to strategic planning include avoidance of high-risk decisions. That doesn't really make any sense to me, so I'm going to guess probably not. C, not paying attention to the competitor's activity. The inclusion of not paying attention, you absolutely need to pay attention to what's happening with the competitor, so I'm going to rule that one out. And then D, response is using rules and past experiences as a guide to future action. I mean, I think potentially you could look at the past a little bit to inform the future, but to me, A looks like the most comprehensive response, so I'm going to guess A.
And you would guess correct. I think you know A. It is a comprehensive response to the question. It is the most appropriate answer.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that they juxtapose them like that, like so obviously, but
Let's hope they're all like that.
Okay.
Question number 3. Anybody want to volunteer?
I'll do it.
I don't see that on the screen. Maybe.
Oh, I can.
Didn't advance
I can
it yet.
advance the slide. Question number 3.
I'll try that. This is Norman. The primary task of marketing is to A, bring about voluntary and involuntary exchanges of values, B, attract new advertisers, C, bring about voluntary exchanges of values, D, advertise new and existing services. So the primary task of marketing is to, let's see, advertise new and existing services. I don't know, that's just sticking out to me here. Attract new advertisers. I have to go with D because that's just looking at it's not always advertisers. Sometimes it's patients and sometimes it's just new business things. To advertise voluntary exchanges of values. I don't know. I'm just going to go with D.
Anybody have anything different? They went with C, and I think they liked it. This is a more inclusive terminology here. The A response is a little bit Big Brother-ish, kind of mind control there with the involuntary exchange of values. And B was rolled out, and they went with C as a more inclusive to values and tie-in with community and types of things along those lines. Let's go on to 4. Anyone want to volunteer for that question?
3, I just want to comment, it's Mia. Just 3 seems kind of bizarre.
Yeah, I don't get 3. I don't either.
Yeah. But I guess that's just, chalk it up to bad test writing.
I think one of the things that they were looking at was the basis of the tie-in to the community, the value, the support. They were going for more than just advertisement.
Right. But the key word that I was focusing on was primary. So that, none of the responses seem that great to me. But
yeah,
I guess if that's their bias, then that's good to know walking into the test for marketing.
I think one of the things, again, what I got from it when I did it, was they wanted more. They wanted more than just the advertisement of services.
That's good to know.
Number 4, anybody have a desire to do it?
It would be incorrect to say organization.
I'll try it, but after 3, I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Because 3 was pretty, it's Barb. It would be incorrect to say that A, an organization's image is a function of all that the organization has done as well as what it has attempted to communicate. It would be incorrect to say that an organization, well, no, I don't think that that's necessarily incorrect, but let's see. B, it would be incorrect to say that people's images of an organization always reflect their true attitudes toward the organization. I don't know. Okay. It would be incorrect to say that an organization's image is largely the result of public relations, advertising, selling, and communication efforts. I don't know about that yet. D, it would be incorrect to say that responsibility for the creation of the organization's image does not lie merely with the marketer. Well, that I know. It's definitely incorrect. So, but let's see which is the best. Let's see. An organization image is a function of all that the organization has done as well as what it has attempted to communicate.
Incorrect.
I think that that's true. So that's correct. So we can't say A. B, people's images of an organization always reflect their true attitudes toward the organization. Well, I think that's incorrect. But I also think D is incorrect. So, okay, this is fun. Okay. It would be incorrect to say that an organization's image is largely the result of public relations, advertising, selling, and communication efforts.
I think we're all having about the same amount of difficulty with this one. The answer that they went with was C. And to me, this is a really bad question to me.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it.
No, but
How often have we said that?
No, but I think it goes back to the bias thing again, because if you go back to the content, which was taken directly from the textbook, just like with question number 3, if the bias in the content was really saying that it's everybody's responsibility to generate the image and the reputation of the organization, that's how ACHE is writing these questions based on that bias. So I think that's probably why they picked that one, because they're saying, hey, it's every individual person in the organization's responsibility, not just a, PR function.
But the one element to that that's a caveat is B, because B has a person's image of what a person out in the community perceives the organization is, their attitude toward the organization.
But it also
Right.
And that
the
was
word always.
Yeah.
And whenever you see always, it means that I always took it as being a trick
That's
question.
what I bid on when I took it. I was like, always, get out of here.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I agree. I don't think those two were very well written, but so be it.
Right. All right, let's move on. Question number 5.
All of the following methods.
We're all gun shy.
They get a little better.
Yeah, right.
I like D.
That's probably correct.
Yeah, exactly.
By middlemen. That's that. I don't.
That's probably the answer.
Target buyers intention survey, performance of an environmental assessment. Yeah, I'd go with D.
Yeah, D sounds too bizarre. It sounds like a drug deal.
Right.
Right. They're going to get a little worse before they get better. The answer.
Okay, great. So it's.
Yeah.
What is
The
it?
answer they went with was C, estimation of the competitor's
Oh my
current
God!
base.
The following are methods to use to forecast future demand. Well, that's to make
Oh,
it.
accept. Oh,
You
it
look
says
at a
accept.
customer's
Good.
except it forecast future demands except or an estimation of well, you can base where you're going on a competitor's current base, and if you want to acquire that base for whatever reason, you would look at their base.
As an assumption, yeah.
Okay, I need to know what a middleman is.
It's a middle manager.
Oh, okay.
That's a lame one too.
All right. I only had 8 to choose from, so I'm sorry.
Bummer.
I really don't understand where they came up with that. An estimation, all of the following are methods used to, so you're forecasting future demand with, by middlemen.
Yeah.
And we're not really clear what a middleman is unless it's an outsourced person. Is that what they're trying to say? An outsourced agent or an outside agency?
Yeah. We're thinking.
But why did they call it middlemen?
They're looking at middle management.
Yeah, no, that's not middle management.
Organization.
That's middle management is different than a middleman. A middleman is somebody in between the outside and the inside. So it's a third party. Oh, unless, well, let's see, estimates future demand by an outside, by a third party, which would be a valid way of looking. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's just a very poor word. Yep. The middleman is a very, very poor word, and it changes the
Not going to get an argument from me on that one. So
yeah.
Let's move on to question number 6.
Okay. All of the following statements are true except.
Is someone doing it?
Yeah, we're all reading.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to get a little worse before it gets better.
Yeah, I'm a little gun shy again here.
Well,
Don't
keep
say
in
the
mind
answer
that
yet. Give me one more minute. One more minute. Hold on.
keep in mind. I'm not going to give you the answer, but keep in mind that we're all probably going to get the same answer.
Well, yeah, I know where I'm heading.
Go for it.
Well, okay. Now the thing that I'm looking at is the one particular word, and it's the word much. And it says much of the art of forecasting relies on the opinion of experts. And I think that word much is skewing everything else that I'm thinking about. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's something else, but maybe there are no answers. So
you're trying to figure out, it says all of the following are true except that. So you're trying to validate each response as true or not true.
Correct.
And the one that's not true is the correct response.
Correct.
The one that's
Right.
most not true. Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
So you guys are going with A?
Yeah. I agree with A. Oh.
I would
That's
say
where I went. I went there, and the answer is B.
D?
Forecasting, if correctly performed, relying on technological forecasting approaches is not an exact science.
It's
So
not an exact
the reverse
science
of
always.
that would be
Not
that
always.
it is an exact science.
include that in your survey. So.
That's weird.
Oh, wait a minute, hold it. This is one where they give you a trick word at the end. So forecasting, if correctly performed, is not an exact science, so that if it is performed correctly, is an exact science?
I thought,
I didn't
I thought that statement was true.
Yeah, exactly.
That it, right, so it
I
wouldn't
need
be
you to
the
believe
correct...
that if performed correctly, it's an exact science.
That's what forecasting is a forecast. It's not.
Oh, if it's true?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate
All
this.
of the following are true,
I agree with you.
except that forecasting, if performed, is not
Just means that it's not true.
It means that forecasting is not an exact science,
True or false?
if correctly performed.
No, but that seems like a true statement to
Yeah.
me.
That's why I didn't choose it.
Oh, okay. So if you eliminate the
Right.
okay,
That's why I don't agree that it's... Why is that the correct
forecasting is
response?
not an exact science. So that is true. No, it says forecasting, and the forecasting is not an exact science.
Correct. Because it seemed like A seemed a little bit too extreme, like, because
Right.
And I went there
have
too.
to-
I felt that the much was the piece that I hung on a little bit. So
right, because I have to forecast a lot of things that are not in my area of expertise, but, you know, I'm obligated to do it because that's what I need to forecast an operating budget. So I don't, it just seems kind of bogus that it's opinions of experts.
Right.
So-
So there's...
That one seemed like the least correct response to me. But
let's end on a good note. So question number 7.
Why? There are only 7 questions?
there's
Or 8
8.
questions.
Oh, God.
We
Okay.
should do all right on these last 2.
There's only 20 on the exam. Don't worry.
Yeah.
When you take the exam, do they divide it by sections or is everything interspersed?
It's all intermingled, I believe.
Oh, okay. Just wondering. Okay.
Let's take number 7.
Great.
I already had a turn, so.
I'll take it. It's Alan. Of the 4 following advertising media, which potentially has the maximum selectivity in reaching defined target audience? Local radio, I'm not sure that would be the case. Direct mail, I know we do well with that. Network TV, again, the question is defined target audience. I'm not sure you get that. Outdoor advertising, I'm not sure about that either. I'm going to go with B just for the fact that I know we've been successful with that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Direct mail, you can hone it into the Yeah, I mean, you could whittle it down to a year and a sex that you wanted advertised. So yeah, B is the right answer. And everything else there looks very non-specific compared to it. Going on to question number 8. Who wants the last question?
I'll do it. It's me.
All right.
I don't know if I know the answer, but to work effectively with the media, healthcare executives must, and the key word is healthcare executives working with the media, must, A, be accessible at all times to the media. At all times is pretty extreme, so I would guess that's probably not correct. B, increase their knowledge of and sensitivity to the media's function. That kind of makes sense. C, employ a public relations officer to control the release of all information. I mean, PR is probably helpful, so that seems reasonable. And then D is issue press releases on a timely basis. That seems like such a narrow component of working with the media. I would guess it's not correct. So it's either, in my mind, B or C. And they're focusing on, in the question, healthcare executives. So I would say, in that regard, B is better than C. So I'll pick B.
And you would be correct. The answer is B.
Yay!
Good. Very good. Very good.